I'm curious how much of this was natural lighting, because it looked like all natural lighting to me, especially with the candles. And is that something you were going for in the look?
Yeah, Philippe Lassorde, our great cinematographer, he worked really hard. We did a lot of prep before, so it looked like the real lighting of that time.
So cool how you pulled that off. And like, obviously you had very limited to no score in the first two acts of the movie, and it was at one point where like this one particular bird chirp became like almost the score of that. I'm curious like how that was planned out. Did you have to loop that? Did you actually grab that from ambient sound? Like,
Well, I wanted the story to be really full of tension and feel like you're in that hot southern day, and our sound designer really worked with the sounds of the birds and the cicadas to make that atmosphere.
Yeah, it was really well done. Now, obviously,
Thank you for noticing.
I thought it was fantastic. I was reading about the washing scene, because it's really close up how you shoot that. I'm curious, like how many takes that was, and was it really all day? As you were, I was reading something about it.
Oh no, we didn't shoot it all day, but I was on like a little apple box sitting near them, and I was so embarrassed because I had to tell Nicole like, okay, now wash his inner thigh, you know. So it was embarrassing, but she was. She's such a pro. I was more embarrassed. She was fine with it, and they had just filmed together, but we wanted to really, you know, she hasn't seen a man in so long, and really close up of all, you know, taking in his body and the difference between him and this lady's world.
Now, I think to me it's absolutely crazy that only 2 women have ever won Best Director at the Cannes Film Festival.
I know, it's hard to believe.
Ridiculous. And I'm just curious, and like nowadays with movies coming out like this, Wonder Woman's big success, I'm curious, like, are you seeing a difference now? Are you seeing more female directors, more female told stories? And like, what do we need to do to get around the idea that these are just directors and not, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so great that Wonder Woman was a big hit, because, you know, now studios will see that a female point of view is a valid thing to invest in business-wise. So I'm sure that's going to help a lot and shift, and hopefully this does well too.
When that happened at Cannes, like obviously it was we did stories on it. It was such a big deal for us because I was like so happy to see you win. Not only because you're extremely talented, but just I love that this film won. What was going through your mind when that happened? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I wasn't actually there. I had gone home, so it was a big surprise, and I was so excited and thrilled that, you know, that the people, hopefully, you know, were talking about the movie, and I felt so much love from other women. Even like I walked to school and other women were like, "Yeah, congratulations!" And so it was really exciting. And I had no idea that there had only been one woman before.
So a few months ago, I interviewed Bill Murray, and he was on a carpet, and he was doing. It was right before the Cubs won the World Series. And I know you've been asked a million times the ending of Lost in Translation. I know you're not going to reveal that, but I asked him. I said, if the Cubs win the World Series, would you ever think of revealing what you said to Scarlett Johansson? And he goes, no one would care because everyone would be celebrating the Cubs win. I'm like, no. Film fans would care. So I always wanted to ask you, on that day when you shot that, what direction you gave him, and also, do you know what he says?
I do. It was a little different each take, but I never thought that would be such a big deal. So it's really funny that it became a thing. And yeah, and I love what Bill always answered. When people would ask, he would say, you know, it's between lovers, it's between them. So so yeah, it was supposed to sum up that they both had a, you know, that they meant something to each other.
But it was improvised. Like, it was something he came up with. It wasn't in the script. You didn't write it in the script.
No, but we talked about it before, and yeah.
It's so cool. Before I let you go, I think that shooting on film is the greatest thing anybody can be doing. And I think, you know, Patty Jenkins just did that. Nolan's still doing it. Edgar Wright's doing it.
Yeah.
And I think film is, I just hope more people do it. And a lot of these bigger films are starting to shoot more film nowadays, which is great. I'm curious what you find in film that you can't find in digital.
Film is so beautiful. It just has a different look, especially doing a period film. I'm so happy we got to shoot on 35, and I hope people see it in the theater, because just to see film big like that, it's so beautiful. It just has a different feeling. I'm happy Chris Nolan is supporting the labs, and that I'm glad it's still around.
You had a really cool aspect ratio too. It was like almost like a box.
Yeah, it's shorter because we wanted it to feel claustrophobic and just have a different feeling.
That was cool. Well, Sophia, it's a pleasure meeting you, by the way. My wife really